Buen día.
Buen día, profesora. Espero esté bien. Mi nombre es Mergeri Hernández. Hoy le voy a estar acompañando como moderadora de la sesión. Voy a comenzar con los parámetros.
Ok.
También quiero informarle que le pedí a mi compañera que envíe los mensajes a los estudiantes, que se los reenviaran en caso de que pudiesen asistir el día de hoy.
Ok.
Bueno, algunos parámetros de las sesiones por videoconferencia son los siguientes. Las sesiones se graban. Esto quiere decir que el estudiante puede verlo nuevamente cuando desee a través de su plataforma. Le solicitamos que por favor silencien sus micrófonos. Pueden activarlo nuevamente cuando quieran hacer alguna consulta o algún aporte con el permiso del docente. Le pedimos que mantengan su cámara activa. De no poder hacerlo, deberán enviar su excusa por el chat de Zoom. De lo contrario, será retirado de la sesión y le serán restados puntos en la retrovaloración del docente. Mi rol como moderador es facilitar y apoyar en la parte técnica. Consultas las pueden realizar por el chat personal o general. Les exhorto a tener bolígrafo y papel para hacer sus anotaciones y aprovechar al máximo estas sesiones. Esta sesión tiene un tiempo de duración de 120 minutos. Sin más que agregar, los voy a dejar con la...
Ok, déjame compartir la presentación y ya sacamos. Okay. So good morning, students. So today we're going to work in the module number 2. Okay, reading number 1 and reading number 3. Time to give thanks to God for everything that you receive during your life and everything that you propose during your life, okay? A winner is a dreamer who never gives up by Nelson Mandela. Okay, review of previous classes. So the last class was about, or the class number 2 was about the poetry and poetry devices and 12 type of poems, okay? So, about the 12 type of poems, when writing good poetry can be incredibly challenging, and sometimes you're trying to understand it can be tiresome. Okay, there are so many different type of poems. All you have to do is select the style that appeals to you and let your creativity flow. Each type of poetry has its own unique style and structure, which can make it both and fun and challenging to write. There are many different type of poetry, each with its own unique features and beauty. Okay, so it's a short summary about the previous class. Okay, reading number 1: how to write an argumentative essay. An argumentative essay is a piece of writing that is uses factual evidence and logical support to convince the reader of a certain way of thinking. I thought many types of essays aim at persuading point of view and the reader to believe a specific point of view. Argumentative essays rely heavily on hard evidence, drawing on the other studies and source to prove their argument is the best one. Okay. So with this short explanation, let me share with you the first video of the class. Okay. So wait me some seconds and I'm trying to share the video. Some seconds, please. Favorites. 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 Favorites.
Often in writing assignments, you are asked to write an argumentative essay. In this video, we're going to talk about how to write an argumentative essay. First, let's talk about what an argumentative essay is. An argumentative essay takes a position or an opinion on a certain topic and tries to convince the reader that their point of view is true or correct. The essay will provide evidence and reasons to support their point of view. So, how do you write an argumentative essay? When developing an argument, it is good to remember that there are always at least two sides to an argument. In your essay, you will need to present each of these two sides, or more if there are multiple arguments. Then in the introduction paragraph of your essay, you will need to introduce the different sides and give your opinion about which side you believe has the strongest evidence. The introduction paragraph should include a hook, some background information, and a thesis statement. The hook is something that will interest the reader to continue reading your essay. The background information would be information about your topic that would be helpful to the reader. And the thesis statement will state clearly what you plan to write in your essay. After the introduction paragraph, there should be at least 3 body paragraphs explaining the main points that support the thesis statement. You may have more than 3 body paragraphs, but you should have at least 3. Each body paragraph will give evidence, examples, and explanations for each of the points presented in the thesis statement. The argumentative essay needs to have evidence to prove your points. The final paragraph is the conclusion paragraph. The thesis statement is restated, and the writer gives his reasons why he believes his opinion is the correct one, and appeals to the reader to agree with his argument in the essay. So your format for an argumentative essay looks something like this: the introduction paragraph with a thesis statement, the opposing claims about your topic, your viewpoint about the topic, and then the conclusion that gives your reasons for why you believe your viewpoint is correct. The object of the argumentative essay is to convince those who object to your main argument. This is what you need to do in an argumentative essay. So try to choose the strongest of the objections and show why that objection is flawed or not true. The order of the argument can be presented in 2 ways. You can present the side you do not agree with, followed by the side you believe is better. Or you can present your side first and then present the opposing side next. In your final paragraph or paragraphs, you will want to discuss why you believe there's more evidence for the side you think is stronger or true. The argumentative essay is slightly different from the persuasive essay. The persuasive essay only presents your side or your point of view and gives evidence for that. The argumentative essay looks at both of the points of view and also gives evidence for both. So you need to consider both sides of an argument in an argumentative essay. We sometimes call these counter arguments. So be sure to present the other side and their reasons for their point of view. Now, one good way to write the argumentative essay is to predict the consequences of their point of view. So this would include your ideas of what would happen if this situation continues. Let's look at a possible argumentative essay assignment. Higher education should be free for everyone. Present the different arguments about this topic and defend your opinion. Now, the first thing you should do is to brainstorm for some ideas or do some research to find reasons why people believe that higher education should be free. Thinking of at least 3 ideas is a good idea. Then you should brainstorm for ideas of the other side of the argument about higher education should not be free. The structure for your essay may look something like this. You decide to first write about the ideas that argue that higher education should be free. In the next paragraph, you would talk about the reasons why some believe that higher education should not be free. In your conclusion, you would write why your point of view is correct. So after some research or brainstorming, maybe you decide on these ideas for your essay. You would develop each of these paragraphs with evidence and examples to prove that point of view. Now, evidence that you can use in an argumentative essay include experts' opinions, factual information, or statistics. Be sure to reference any of these facts in your writing by using a citation method, either the APA or the MLA. Now, all of these types of evidence can add credibility to your argument and prove your point. So when writing your support paragraph, be sure to make your point and then give further details, maybe an example or some type of evidence to back it up. Do this for both sides of the argument. For example, you need to find a quote or some kind of an example from the opposing point of view to show how they see the topic. So to review what an argumentative essay is. An argumentative essay takes a position on a topic. It presents both sides of the argument, or multiple sides if there are more than 2 sides, and then it attempts to convince the reader that the writer's opinion is correct. Try using these strategies the next time you need to write an argumentative essay. Happy writing!
Okay, so I hope you that we can use this video to solve all the assignment that you have to present on the platform. Okay, how to write a good argumentative essay, step by step. Okay, remember that you can find all the readings in the platform in the module number 2. When you're writing an argumentative essay, you need more than just an opinion, okay, to make your point here. And even the strongest ones won't be compelling if it's not structured properly and reinforced with solid reasoning and evidence. So what is an argumentative essay? An argumentative essay is a piece of writing that is used as factual evidence, right? And and have some different important aspects that you can imply inside this information. So, okay. Generally, argumentative essay topics are related to the science, technology, politics, and healthcare. So you can write a certain kind of argumentative essay with this kind of information. Okay. How to outline an argumentative essay in 4 step. So argumentative essays should have a straightforward structure so they are easy for readers to follow. The goal of an argumentative essay is to clearly outline a point of view, reasoning, and evidence. An argumentative essay uh, shall follow or have to follow some different rules that maintain the correct structure of the main essay, right? So can I mention a one, two, three, four? Four different statements that you need to take in account or in mind at the moment to write an argumentative essay. So the first one is the introductory paragraph. Okay. And the introductory paragraph is the first paragraph of your essay should outline the topic, provide background information necessary to understand your argument, outline the evidence you will present, and keep your thesis statement. So you can use this part of the essay or the introductory paragraph to explain or try, maybe you can use some brainstorm to decide or what do you need to transmit or what do you want to explain throughout your argumentative essay. So this is the part that you need to use for this. And the number one is the thesis statement. This is a part of your first paragraph in a concept that is consists one sentence summary of your main point and claim. It is usually the last sentence of the introductory paragraph. So in this part, you can emphasize all the main point that you have at the moment to develop the argumentative essay. Okay, and the most time is the last statement or last sentence that you write on your argumentative essay in introductory paragraph. Sorry. Number three, body paragraph. A typical argumentative essay comprises three or more paragraphs that explain the reasons why you support your thesis. Each body paragraph should cover a given idea or pieces of evidence and contain a topic sentence that clearly and concisely explains why the reader should agree with your position, and the body paragraph are where you back up your claims with different examples, research, statistics, studies, and different text citations. And the other's opposing point of view and disprove them or explain why you disagree with them. And presenting facts and considering a topic from every angle acts credibility and will help you gain readers thirst. Okay? The body paragraph is the structure of your argumentative essay. In this part, you have to explain what you want to transmit or where is the different important aspects that you can find in your argumentative essay. So this is the body or a structure of your essay, and you need to explain something about that maybe you have that maybe you consider it's important to explain. And you have to take in mind that you need to find more information that catch attention of your readers, okay? And the last part is about the conclusion. The conclusion, okay. One paragraph that restates your thesis and summarize all of the arguments made in your body paragraph, rather than introducing new facts or more arguments. A good conclusion will appeal to a reader's emotions. In some cases, writers will use a personal anecdote explaining how the topic personally affects them. Okay, so in the conclusion, you can write all the information that you consider more important inside your essay, and do you think that is important to remind us? Okay. So with this information, I consider that you can solve the first part of the activity. Okay, so let me share that questions that you need to solve with me. Wait, let me check this. Okay, if you have the time to, I don't know, take the picture or screenshot about the questions, and the next class you can bring me some information about this information, about these questions. That's great for me. But today I'm going to solve these questions, okay? So what you need to do here, you need to answer these questions. So number one, what is an argumentative essay? Number two, mention and explain the four steps that must be followed to write an outline. Number three, what is a statement? Number four, define what thesis statement are. Okay, so the first one, what is an argumentative essay? An argumentative essay is a piece of writing that takes a stance on an issue. Okay, in a good argumentative essay, a writer attempts to persuade readers to understand and support their point of view about the topic by extending their reasoning and providing evidence to back it up. Okay, so generally argumentative essay topics are related to the science, technology, politics, and healthcare. Number two, mention and explain the four steps that must be followed to write an outline. Okay. So argumentative essays should have a straightforward structure, so they are easy for readers to follow. The colon argumentative essay is to clearly outline a point of view, reasoning, and evidence. So you need to follow some rules and some structure to try to make an argumentative essay. So the first one, or the first step that you need to follow at the moment to write an argumentative essay is the introductory paragraph. That is the first paragraph of your essay and should outline the topic, provide a background, necessary information, different arguments, outline the evidence you will present, and keep your thesis statement. Number two, the thesis statement. What is the thesis statement? The thesis statement is the part of your first paragraph, okay? It is a concise one-sentence summary of your main point and claim, and it's usually the last sentence of your introductory paragraph. For number three, the body paragraph, okay? A typical argumentative essay comprises 3 or more paragraphs that explain the reasons why you support for your thesis. And each body paragraph should cover a different idea or piece of evidence and contain a topic sentence that clearly and concisely explain why the reader should agree with your position. And body paragraphs are where you back up your claims with different examples, different exercises, different statistics, studies, and many different situations, right? Others opposite point of view and this disapprove or disagree, them to explain what is the reason why you disagree, okay? Presenting facts and considering topics from every angle adds credibility and will help you gain readers' trust. And the last one is about the conclusion. And the conclusion is the paragraph that restates your thesis and summarizes all of the arguments made in your body paragraph. Rather than introducing new facts or more arguments at the conclusion, will appeal to readers' emotions. In some cases, writers will use a personal anecdote, explain how the topic personally affects them, okay, or vice versa. And the last one is define what thesis statement are. So a statement Es una declaración o una afirmación que damos sobre algún tema. Okay? So now let me share the video number 2 for this class. With me some seconds, please.
We speak student.
Argument essay, a la Schmoop. Is Bieber's hair more awesome than Cousin It's? Should weekends be extended to 4 days instead of the measly 2 we currently have? Are dogs better than cats?
Say cats are better.
No matter how you answered any of these questions, you're already in the thick of an argument. And hopefully you didn't tick off any cats in the process. They're unforgiving creatures. In writing, arguing has nothing to do with the decibel level of your voice.
You're wrong.
An argument essay persuades your readers to make a change. This change could be a mental change, a different way of thinking, or an actual change in a policy or practice. It's wide open. Here's a classic example. I'm 16 years old and I just got my driver's license. Therefore, I'm clearly more than capable of driving your new Porsche Turbo. Try saying that to one of your parents and he or she will probably say, yeah, right. But give them evidence and support your claim. Show them how you can drive in reverse in a straight line for 100 feet and parallel park a Hummer into a parking spot meant for motorcycles, and you just might succeed in changing their mind. So when you're presenting an argument, your reader must see things from your point of view. You can't let them just brush it off because they don't agree with you right off the bat. It's on you to persuade them by providing support for your arguments and effectively shooting down any potential counter-arguments. All through it, keep your tone civil and polite, or your reader will toss aside your paper. So how is this puppy organized? You've got your intro, a thesis that states your overall opinion. The body of the essay will have your supporting points, and finally your conclusion in which you wrap things up neatly. If that seems like a bit much, don't panic. Schmoop's Writing Guide has help and more info on these terms. The argument essay is the most important kind of academic paper because most essays have an element of argumentation, even if it isn't immediately obvious. After all, why are you writing anything at all if it isn't to convince someone of something? The personal statement that you will be writing to get into college, it's an argument that you're awesome. That long Facebook status you just posted about how Taken 2 is the best movie of all time? That's right, you're trying to persuade your reader that the oft-derided film is in fact misunderstood. If you're going to turn anyone to your side in this instance, though, let's hope you have a very particular set of skills. See what we mean? Now go on, argue. We can see you're chomping at the bit.
Okay, so the next important information that you can find in the reading is about how to write a thesis statement in 3 different steps. So your thesis statement is only 1 sentence long, but it's the most important part of your argumentative essay. Okay, the thesis appears in your introductory paragraph, summarize what your argumentative essay will be about, and primes the reader for what's to come. This essay will help you get your point across clearly and more concisely. So the first one is turn the topic into a question and answer. Set up a big question in the title of your essay or within the first few sentences. And then fill up to answering that question in your thesis statement. For example, in your title or introduction, you could pose the question, for example, what is the best type of standards or what is the best option that you can get it? And then answer with your thesis statement. So the best type of sandwich is peanut butter and jelly. So you can make different questions at the beginning to open the body of the paragraph. Okay. This method is effective because intriguing questions draw readers and encourage them to keep reading to find the answer. Okay. Number 2, state an argument and then refute it. Introduce an idea that contrasts with your belief and immediately explain why you disagree with it. For example, while some people believe peanut butter and yellow sandwich are too simple, they are very subtle standards that you can easily turn into a dramatic meal. So this method is effective because it's using an evidence and immediately it demonstrates your credibility. Number 3, briefly outline your main points. Introduce your main points and explain how you back it up. For example, you can turn a peanut butter and jelly sandwich into a gourmet meal by using artisanal bread, toasting the bread, and adding additional toppings. So this method is effective because it gives the reader clearly idea about of everything you'll discuss in your essay, and it also serves on a roadmap to help keep you organized and on track. So it's important to take this information in your mind because you need to catch attention of your audience, right? So for this reason, you need to try to add this kind of information at the moment to write an argumentative essay. Okay. So can I mention about more information about the different type of arguments claims? So what is the argument claim? Is when you decide what you're arguing and know your thesis statement, consider how you will present your argument. You can find in the reading 5 different type of argument claims that can drive your essay or structure your essay. The number 1 is about the fact. The fact, whether the statement is true or false. Number 2, definition. The definition is the definition of what you are arguing plus your own personal interpretation of it. Value is the importance of what you are arguing, okay? Cause and effect. What caused a problem in your essay and what effect it has. And number 5, why the reader holiday. Why the reader should care and what they should do about it after reading. Okay, so it's important information that you take in mind at the moment to write your argumentative essay. The other important information is about the different type of argument and how to use them. Okay, so can I mention 3 different? There are 3 main ways to structure an argumentative essay, and you can choose one to place your argumentative essay in this. So the number 1 is the classical. The classical present the main argument, state your opinion, and do your best to convince the reader why you're standing the right one. Also called Aristotelian, this is the most popular strategy for making an argument because it's the simple line of thinking to follow. It is effective when your audience doesn't have a lot of information or strong opinion about your topic. It is an outline that affects clearly and concisely. Okay, number 2, Rogerian. Okay, present the problem, acknowledge the opposite side of the argument, say your point of view, and explain why yours is the most beneficial to the reader. So this type of argument is effective for polarizing topics as it's acknowledge both sides and present the middle ground. Okay. Number 3, told me. Present your claim, present grounds to back up that claim, and then justify that the grounds are linked to the claim. This type of argument is also effective for polarizing topics, but rather than present both sides, it's present one, high particularly on facts present in a way that makes the claim difficult to argue with. So whether you're writing an essay and it's an artistic exercise on trying to get the attention of a top publication, knowing how to create the structure and point of view, and it's just the key to a good argumentative essay. Okay, So with this information, let me share with you the next video about the class. So wait me some seconds to share it, okay?
If you want to ace your paper, download Grammarly. Are you me?
We are going to learn the process of writing an argumentative essay in 5 short videos. We normally use a 5-paragraph structure common in other types of essay, with 2 arguments supporting our view and 1 against. This is not the only way to write an essay. 6 paragraphs are also often used. Today we will use 5, which is also known as a hamburger essay. This is made up of an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Let's start at the beginning. In this section, we're going to analyse the question and plan our essay effectively. It's important to plan your essay first. This ensures your reader can follow the progression of your argument. In an exam, it will also mean you get good marks for organisation and structure. Look for clues in the essay question. This will tell you what the task requires. Find these and they will help you answer it effectively. The main clues we can get from the text are: why indicates that you need to give a reason. This is your purpose. The keywords study and history tell us a subject we are writing about. Why, study and history should be underlined. This is asking your opinion, so it requires your voice. Write an essay of 300 to 500 words. This shows how many words you need to write. Remember, the examiner doesn't want to read too much or too little. We have to give both sides of the argument in this essay, so that means we will write 2 paragraphs supporting our opinion or stand, and 1 paragraph presenting an opposing argument. Now we've analysed the question, we need to do a plan. We're going to write a 5-paragraph essay consisting of an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, 2 explaining our opinion or stand, and the other the opposing argument, and a conclusion. Now we know our basic structure, we need to choose a method to plan our essay. There are several different ways to do this, such as a spider diagram, a positive and negative table, a flowchart. Today we're going to use a spider diagram. Next, consider what the main points you want to make are. Decide on your opinion or stand about the question. First, you need to ask yourself these questions and note down your answers. Do you enjoy studying history? Why or why not? Do you think that there is any value in studying it? Why not? This is the basis for your brainstorm. Next, consider the main points you want to make. Decide your opinion about the question. Is studying history a good or bad thing? To answer this essay question, we have decided that it is a good thing. Put your question in a circle in the centre of the page, then write as many ideas as you can for and against the argument. Decide which points are positive and negative. Choose the 2 strongest ideas to support your opinion. You will need to think of an additional point connected to each, followed by an example, so choose the points you have the most to write about. These will be your main ideas for body paragraphs 1 and 2. Now write a topic sentence for each one. This should summarise the whole paragraph in a short, clear sentence. It will be a general point. The sentences that follow will give more specific information about that point. Check that they are related to the question and your opinion. Yes, they are. Now imagine someone is arguing against your opinion. What would they say? This is your counterpoint. Now you have the main ideas for each of your body paragraphs. In this video, we have looked at layout, question analysis, and planning. Don't forget to keep it simple. Write a 5-paragraph essay. Read the question and circle the clues. They will help you give a correct answer. Always plan your essay, your opinion, and your topic sentences. For more advice, visit us at Learn English Teens, and for more information on our courses, visit us at the British Council website. Our next video in the series is about how to write your thesis statement and paragraphs.
Okay, so now is the moment to answer just the component activities in the class. So what you need to do, the same thing at the beginning, answer questions. So the first one says, how to write a thesis statement in 3 steps. So your thesis statement is only 1 sentence long, okay? But it's the most important part of your argumentative essay. And the thesis appeared in your introductory paragraph. Summarize what your argumentative essay will be about and plan to read for what's to come, okay? And the 3 different steps that you need to follow is about the turn the topic into a question and answer it, a statement and argument, and then refute it, and briefly outline your main point, okay? Number 2, mention and explain 5 types of argument claims. So what is the argument claim? It's when you decide your argument and how your thesis statement, and consider how you present your argument, okay? So the first one is about the fact, that is whether the statement is true or false, the definition of what you're arguing plus your own personal opinion, okay? Or interpretation about the topic that you read. And the value is the importance of what are you arguing, okay? Cause and effects. What different cause that the problem in your essay and what effect it has. And the last one is about the quality. That is why the reader should care and what they should do about and after reading, okay? Mention the 3 types of argument. So the argumentative essay has different types of arguments, and the first one is about the classical. And the classical present the main arguments, state their opinion, and do your best to convince the reader what your stance is the right one. And also clarity is totally in. This is the most popular strategy for making arguments because it's the simple line of thinking to follow. Okay. Number 2 is the Rogerian. That is the present the problem and acknowledge the opposite side of the argument, state your point of view, and explain why yours is the most beneficial to the reader. This type of argument is effective for polarizing topics, and it's knowledge both sides and present the middle ground. And the last one is about the mean that present the claim, present ground to the backup that claim, and that justify the group or grounds are linked to the claim. And this is a type of argument is also effective for polarizing topics, but rather than present both the sides. And present one hanging particularly on facts present in a way that makes a claim difficult to argue with. Okay. So with this part, let me continue with the presentation. So the reinforcement materials and about the video. So in the reading number one, you can find some important aspects. That the first point is what is an argumentative essay. The other one is how to write a thesis statement into its steps. 5 type of argument claims and the 3 main type of argument and how to use them. Reading number 2, argumentative essay examples. So like persuasive essays and other type of essays. The point of argument essay is to convince the reader of a particular point of view. What makes an essay argumentative is the method of convince. An argumentative essay use facts, themes, evidence, and unquestionable logic to prove that is the thesis is true. An argumentative essay are only as good as their arguments, and structuring good arguments requires a little more than just being stubborn. Okay? So, let me share with you a video about this topic. So let me share something.
Prueba el poder blanqueador del nuevo Colgate Luminous White Lovers, que remueve hasta las manchas más difíciles de café y vino. Colgate Luminous White Lovers, tu sonrisa, tus reglas.
Hi.
Today, our topic is argumentative writing. What is an argumentative writing? An argumentative writing is a writing where the writer writes for or against a topic and convinces the reader on his or her point of view. An argumentative structure includes 3 basic elements. Number 1, the introduction, which includes an opening hook to catch the reader's attention and your opinion. Number 2, body paragraphs, which includes facts to prove that your opinion is correct, evidences to support your facts, counter-argument, that is to display the other side of the argument and prove yourself right. And remember that body can include multiple paragraphs. Number 3, conclusion, which includes restate thesis, that is to restate your opinion in a different perspective. The introduction. Aim for an effective introduction which captures attention and displays your point of view. No quotes are needed. Start with an interesting fact or statistic or a thought-provoking question. The main body. In the main body of your essay, include all valid points that are logical. All points must be in favor of your opinion, and they should be your strongest point. You have to display both sides of the topic and prove yourself right. What good is an argumentative essay if there are no facts? You need facts to support your opinion. The conclusion. This is the end of your essay. In this paragraph, you restate your opinion or add a strong ending sentence. Here's a thing to remember. When writing an argumentative essay, remember that your essay should not include emotional reasons or an angry tone. Tips to remember. Number 1. Don't forcefully use strong words if you don't know their correct usage. Number 2. If you're having difficulty in having enough points to support your stance, you should consider arguing the opposite view. It might be easier. Number 3. You're not making a list of your points. Don't use firstly, secondly, thirdly, and finally. Remember, your language is being tested. Use good expressions and connectives such as furthermore, in addition to this, etc. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so in the reading number one, you can find an example about the argumentative essay. So let me read for you the information, and you can note all the body paragraphs and all the different paragraphs that you need to use to complete your argumentative essay. So argumentative essay example. For example, online learning has become common and more resources to or are compared to digital forms. Some people have suggested that public libraries should be shut down and in their place everyone should be given an iPad with and reader subscription. So this is the first part, or in this case, the introductory paragraph, okay? It's an introduction about the topic or all the information that you can find inside the reading, inside the argumentative essay, okay? So now you have to continue with the body of the essay that is composed by three different paragraphs. So the first one, proponents of this idea state that it will save local cities and towns money because libraries are expensive to maintain in, okay? They also believe it will encourage more people to read because they won't have to travel to a library to get a book, and they can simply click on what they want to read and read it from whatever they are there, okay? So they could also access more materials because libraries won't have to buy physical copies of books, and they can simply rent out as many digital copies as they need. So you can find an introductory paragraph or the main idea of what they want to share or explain to the readers, okay? Second paragraph, however, it would be a serious mistake to replace library with tablets, okay? For first, digital books and resources are associated with less learning and more problems and than print resources and students or study done on tablets versus books. Reading found that people read 20 or 30% slower on tablets and retain 20% less information and understand 10% less of what they read compared to people who read the same information in print. Additionally, starting to learn at the screen has been shown to cause numerous health problems and including blurred vision, dizziness, dry eyes, and headaches, and eye strain at much higher incidence than reading print does. And people who use tablets and mobile devices excessively also have higher incidence of more serious health issues, such as fibromyalgia or shoulder and back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, and muscle strain. I know that whatever I read from my reader for too long, I begin to feel tired and my neck hurts. We should not add to the stress problem by giving people, especially young people, more reasons to look at the screens, okay? So it's the second paragraph that you need to use, that you need to write in your argumentative essay. And you can find maybe all the problematic in this paragraph, okay? And the third one is about or say that second, it's incredible narrow middle to assume that the only service libraries offer is lending. Libraries have a multitude of benefits and many are only available if the library has a physical location. Some of these benefits include acting as a quiet study space, giving people a way to converse with their neighbors, or holding classes on a variety of topics, providing jobs, answering patrons' questions, and keeping the community connected. One neighborhood found that after a local library institute community, even such as a playtime for toddlers and parents, job fairs for teenagers, and meeting spaces for senior citizens. Over a third of residents report feeling more connected to their community. Similarly, a Pew survey conducted in 2015 found found that nearly 2/3 of American adults felt that closing their local library would have a major impact on their community. So people see libraries as a way to connect with others and get their questions answered. Benefit tablets can offer nearly as well and easily. Okay, so the this is the last paragraph that you can find in the body or the structure of your argumentative essay. So it's a conclusion and maybe give an answer or solution to the problem that they can find in the second paragraph. Okay, and now the last paragraph that is about the conclusion. So while replacing libraries with tablets might seem like as a simple solution, it will encourage people to spend even more time looking at digital screens despite the Maryland or myriad issues surrounding them. It would also add access to many of the benefits of libraries that people have come to rely on in many areas. So libraries are such an important part of the community network that they could never be replaced by a simple object. Okay? So it's a conclusion that you make about all the information that you can bring during the argumentative essay. Okay? So in the last part of the reading number 2, you can find an assignment. Okay? So you have, let me check. Wait me some seconds, please. Let me check the information in the platform. Wait me some seconds. Okay, upload the form for the module 1. 2. For the argumentative for module. Okay, so in the module number 2, you have to complete an argumentative essay o escribirlo más que nada, ¿no? Write an argumentative essay for the activity of the module 2. So you have to follow all the instructions that you can find in the reading number 2 that say assignment, and it's composed by 35 points. So the first one, without the title, how many words does this essay have? So it's a question, some questions that maybe help you to understand how to write an argumentative essay. Okay, if you have the time to complete this, you can do it because maybe help you to understand how to make or write an argumentative essay. So it's a tool that you can use to solve this. So the first one said without the title and how many words does this essay have, or number 2, in total, how many paragraphs does this essay have? 3, what is the thesis statement in this essay? 4, what is the main reason for replacing libraries? Number 5, according to the essay, what are the 2 services offered by libraries? What's the reason given in the conclusion for not replacing libraries? It will be a creative title for this essay. Okay, you can take this question as a practice at home. Okay, if you have the time to read the information, sorry, read the argumentative essay, you can solve and answer this question. You can have another idea about to make an argumentative essay. Please. Let me find the other instructions. So it's similar to the previous reading, to the first reading, that you can find some activities that you can do at home, to solve at home if you have the time, that maybe help you to complete your activity in the platform. But you have to bring me in the activity number 2 an argumentative essay. Okay, so you have to take all this information and try to make the best effort in your essay. Okay. Okay. So remember that you can find some important aspects in the activity or in the reading, and in this case, you can find a clear argumentative essay or example about it, okay? Okay, so now let me share some videos about the two different readings, or not the different, it's the same one, but in the one you can find all the theory, and the second one you can see the practice about it. So let me share with you the videos, okay?
Exquisito, magnífico, delicioso, fancy feast. El amor está en los detalles. Nueva colección Adolfo Domínguez. Elements of argumentative writing.
Elements of argumentative writing. What is an argument? An argument shows a perspective about an issue. It presents a claim that is supported by evidence and reasoning. Claim is a perspective or a POV, point of view. Arguments are not persuasive. You do not need to change anyone's mind. Respectful of all points of view. All POVs can be seen as windows, mirrors, or sliding doors. Reasonable and provide rational perspectives, evidence, or solutions to a problem. Goals of argumentative writing. To ask the reader to accept or consider the writer's POV or perspective. To present C's and E's different E techniques from several reliable sources. Goals of argumentative writing. To ask the reader to take part in some action. To include opposite perspectives, such as counterclaims or counter-arguments. To find solutions and give steps, explain the pros and cons of the situation or solution. Reading argumentative writing as a genre. Here are some targets if we were reading an argumentative text. Targets look for. Not limited to just these targets. An author's purpose is usually to persuade or show emotion. Attacking the prompt steps. If you are ready to write an essay, you would follow these steps. Analyze the prompt. Look for the gap question. Attacking the prompt steps. Step 2. Annotate the text for the P. Begin to collect evidence C that would support your claim, your P, or your thesis. Attacking the prompt steps. Step 3. Use thinking maps to find your main ideas. Cause and effect map, circle map, and tree maps. Attacking the prompt steps. Step 4. Your flea map. 1. Write the claim. 2. Write your A's for all your body paragraphs. 3. Your C's and your E's for all your body paragraphs. 4. Your leads and your conclusions. 5. Transitions. 6. Cups and revising.
Okay, so this is a video or the report for the first reading. Let me share the second one and the last one video that we have to see today. So wait me a second.
Grammar corrections are only helpful if you already did the hard part yourself. Writing your email. WordTune actually helps you write.
Like any essay, your argumentative essay should be structured properly. Can you imagine this?
And that, Your Honor, is why my client is innocent.
You haven't said anything yet. We just started.
Oh, maybe I should do my opening remarks.
As always, you should include an introductory paragraph, a number of body paragraphs, and a conclusion.
But there's a lot to think about when writing the body paragraphs of an argumentative essay. Luckily, there's a trick to help you structure your supporting paragraphs. We call it the ICE method.
To start, you introduce your first supporting reason in the topic sentence. The summer months are great for wearing shorts and going to the beach.
Next, you cite the details or evidence. State a piece of evidence that supports your first reason. According to the National Centers for Environmental Information, July is the warmest month of the year on average. These sentences will begin with transitions like according to or as stated by.
Third is explanation. Explain why this detail is important. This illustrates that the summer months bring warm temperatures best enjoyed at the beach. These explanations connect to details with phrases such as this suggests, this implies, or this reveals.
Lastly, write a concluding sentence. This evidence shows us that the warm temperatures mean summer is the perfect time to put on some shorts and head to the beach.
The last paragraph of your essay is your conclusion. This is where you sum up your argument and leave the audience convinced of your position. Be sure not to add in any new supporting reasons in this paragraph. Any new information should have its own paragraph and be properly supported.
Also, avoid using a basic line like, in conclusion. Strengthen your voice by varying your transitions and using sophisticated vocabulary. Use phrases like, it is evident, these facts reveal, the evidence shows that. Anything that leaves a strong impression on your audience. In conclusion, don't say in conclusion.
Okay, so with this information, I consider that you can make some different summaries about the information. So remember, to the next class, you need to bring me a short summary about the information that you received here today and all the information that you can find in the platform too. And I hope you can use this information as a helpful to complete all the assignment that you need to send me and make the test. Okay, so so what you learn. Okay, in this exercise you have to bring me some different information about it. You have to make it in the next class, okay? Some success because they are destined to, but most success because they are determined to. So this is the last presentation of our class of today. And remember that you need to complete some different forms in the platform, and you need to complete some different assignments about the model number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if you have any doubt or any question about the topics that you have to develop on the platform, or about the I don't know, some problems that maybe search throughout the development of your course, you can write on the consultation forms, and if you have some help, you can write to the tech support, okay, that you can find the number in the platform. Si tenemos alguna duda, una pregunta, tenemos los foros para escribirlas y yo prontamente o a la brevedad posible estaré respondiendo. Si surge algo en el desarrollo de los módulos y de las lecturas, por favor escribirlo en el foro también, o si tienen algún problema con la plataforma, en la plataforma pueden encontrar el número del soporte técnico. So with this information, I think that is all for today. Okay. Have a nice weekend and see you in the next class. Okay. Esta información, damos la clase por terminada. Espero que tengan un bonito fin de semana y nos vemos en la próxima clase. Bye.
Buenos días a todos. Si no hay consultas ni aportes, con el permiso del docente, vamos a dar esta sesión como finalizada. Que pasen